ARM reportedly developing consumer gaming GPUs, competing against NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel. ARM is developing its very own dedicated gaming GPU lineup, which is set to compete directly with Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA. ARM looks to step into a market dominated by NVIDIA and AMD, likely releasing a GPU architecture for both AI and gaming workloads. This development is certainly huge for the markets, given that we haven't seen a new competitor disrupting the market share established by AMD and NVIDIA. The news comes from the Globes, citing sources familiar with the matter. It is disclosed that ARM has employed 100 different chip and software development engineers at a facility in Israel to oversee the new project, but details are still unclear about ARM's ambitions here or whether the company wants to have a take on the discrete gaming GPU segment. UK chip giant ARM is developing a graphics processor unit, GPU, in Israel that will compete with NVIDIA and Intel, sources familiar with the matter have told Globes. ARM is estimated to be employing about 100 chip and software development engineers, in its global graphics processing group at its development center in Ra'anana. At this stage, ARM is reportedly engaged in graphic processing for the video game market, and at the same time, as was the case with NVIDIA, the technology could also be used for AI processing, if and when ARM decides to fully enter the field. Via Globes, ARM isn't entirely new in the gaming GPU space since the firm has dedicated GPU architectures, such as Mali and the flagship Immortalis, which are utilized by the mobile segment. Given that the chip designer plans to compete in the laptop and desktop segment, they could be on their way to releasing discrete GPU models as a part of business expansion. ARM is mainly responsible for providing chip IPs, not the actual product itself, so we may see the firm operate similarly to its potential competitors like NVIDIA and AMD. Interestingly, ARM has been in the chip business for quite some time now, potentially capturing a decent portion of the industry. However, the firm is determined to expand itself into new horizons, and one such example is the integration of the architecture in Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite IPC SoCs. Apart from this, it was rumored that ARM is developing client-based processors in collaboration with NVIDIA, so there's a lot of optimism about the future of ARM's business. The possibility of ARM's discrete gaming GPU lineup remains slim. Given that the company is currently dedicated to capitalizing on the AI hype, getting into the consumer GPU segment doesn't make sense as a business for now. However, there is a void to be filled in the markets, which Intel tried to fill through its Arc GPUs but unfortunately failed to fill. ARM can potentially shock us all, but that would mean completely reworking its business model.